Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to episode 59 of the Rainbow Bridge. My name is Rena Dwelly. I am a master dowser, master geomancer, and spiritual alchemist. I assist beautiful souls all over the world in welcoming abundant health, wellness, success, and happiness into their lives. I will guide you into alignment. Through the entire month of November, I am offering what's called Planetary Alignment sessions for just $40. And, we have our wonderful Mercury in retrograde again. So I thought, it might be fun to talk a little bit about the planets, some of them anyway, just a few of them that I work with. And, talk about how they affect us and what a planetary alignment session can do for you. So I hope that you find this useful. I want to invite you to share this out with your friends, ask questions, connect with me. I love meeting new people, making new friends, and I would love to tell you about what I do and how I can help you align with your wildest dreams. So when a planet is in retrograde, it does not actually spin backwards. Although it may feel like our lives are moving backwards quite often when these planets go retrograde. And really the only one that doesn't feel like a shitstorm is Jupiter in retrograde, and that's more about just getting serious about the abundance and rebalancing our lives and, things like that. So when a planet speeds past Earth in its orbital rotation, it appears to go backwards. And why it does this, it's kind of like when you speed up next to a car on the interstate and you look at the tires, oh my gosh, I'm so not a tire girl. But when you look at the tires and they move so fast that it actually appears like they're moving backwards, the rims, there you go. Oh goodness, thanks. It's actually a unicorn horn. I wanted to be a unicorn today, and I have my unicorn shirt on, and it says I'm magical. So sometimes we just need a good reminder. It is a little chilly here in North Dakota today, so I don't know. I just felt like I needed to be in a magical space. So actually, as these planets come speeding past Earth, what it does is it puts us in direct alignment with the planets. And each of these have their own qualities that they hold. So as the planet aligns directly with Earth, it's almost like, like the planet is bringing forward all the stuff, all the special qualities that those planets hold. And it's almost forcing us to take a second look, revamp, fix, heal, all those fun little pieces in order to reconfigure. So we have Mercury in retrograde. I'm sure most of you feel this one. Most of us do feel this one. It's a magical planet, let me tell you. It is not all bad, I promise you. It is actually a really amazing planet to do work with. I have my favorites. Sorry, guys. Some of the ones that I visit most often, of course, are my favorites just because I'm there and it's like I've made friends. But this one is the cosmic communication for all living beings. So this affects everything in communication. Reading, writing, speaking, listening. It affects research, buying and selling homes, things like that, buying and selling anything really. And it affects our technological devices, causing them to run a little bit slower. Maybe they're not loading properly, performing tasks also seems to be an interesting one. It also affects travel. Shipping, things like that. Again, that's just what Mercury does. And because this is all happening in Scorpio season, everything is really intense and emotional. And you might actually find yourself needing to explore these feelings. Now, these feelings might be present, but there might be things that you just kind of keep off to the side. So they're going to try to resurface, and they might want to blow up a little bit because Scorpio is very, very passionate. It's incredible. This is a really wild time to have Mercury retrograde, although I'm sure it happens more often than not. You know how it is. It's always interesting. So when you are in alignment with this planet, it feels very still. You have your mental body, this is the place where we hold our old programs and our fears, things like that. It gets very quiet. Connecting in with this planet calms all of that, helps wash a lot of that away. It is also the planet of telepathy. So when you are in alignment, there is like this feeling of co-creating, but you don't necessarily have to express yourself. It's just being in sync and in vibe, and it's really beautiful. I really like Mercury. Needing to explore the hard cider and CBD oil. I have handy. Thanks, all that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Mercury can feel like an asshole. I promise you, when you align with it, it's actually very, very beautiful. It really is. The beings that I connect with when I do the work, they move very fast, but it's almost like this swirling energy around you, kind of like, oh, geez, I don't even want to say it because I think it's a bad analogy, but it's like the calm before the storm, the eye of the storm. It's just kind of that center, that very still while everything happens around you. That's kind of the best way I can explain it. All old crappy boyfriends you didn't finish business with seem to show up just as it stations. Oh, I don't know. I haven't really. Maybe it's because I do this. Maybe I don't pay attention. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little more in sync with Mercury. I don't have a lot of issues. Some days I feel it more than others. Some days it feels a little tense. Not terrible, but I can just tell that things are working in around you. We also have Uranus in retrograde, and this happens. It started August 11th, and it's going to continue through January 11th, 2020. Now, this is the planet of evolutionary speed of light. Excuse me, that's kind of a mouthful. So what this planet teaches us is that things surface so you can practice forgiveness and letting go. It speeds up. It's going to surface very quickly, and it's like, oh, got to make a choice right now. That's kind of what that feels like. So it's drawing attention to the flaws and mistakes in your life so that you can rise above that. So you can go, look, it's okay to make mistakes. I am having a human experience, or, it inspires freedom through this movement. And it's giving you a choice of old ways versus new ways. So you're going to revisit old ideas and projects. You are going to have the ability to fix, revamp, and finish these projects. And you may discover your passions that accelerate you to personal enlightenment because you are in alignment with your soul purpose. This is something my guides told me to tell. It's like you are just in sync with time. You know how the days can sometimes move too fast or too slow? When you are in alignment with Uranus, it just all happens at the perfect time. And you have that ability to trust that all is in divine order and that you are connected to your grand plan. It's an interesting planet. I really like working with it. Again, it's like a very fast whirlwind. And when I'm there, I feel like I'm moving fast. Like you're kind of like your legs are moving fast, but your body's in this one position. It's incredible. It's really a beautiful and magical planet to visit. This is the planet of fast changes. So when you seem to be having issues with this planet, and it's like, you have to hurry up, make these changes because you are ready to move to that next level. Now, Uranus and Pluto kind of go together. You speed up so that you can detach and transform. Pluto is the planet of transformation. Neptune is also in retrograde. This is June 21st, so it's been there for a while, through November 27th. So if things are kind of coming to a head here for you, this may be why. It seems like as these planets near the end of their retrograde, it's like it's got to come to the surface, excuse me. Did we do all that we need to do? Is there a little bit more? It's almost, it's like a pimple, really. Terrible analogy again, but kind of funny. So the mermaids are from Neptune, and this planet is very connected to Atlantis. Very high consciousness here. Very interesting planet to do work with. This is the planet of unconditional truth for all living beings. This is going to reveal your truth about your service. Why are you here in this lifetime? What do you need to do? So if you are having problems with retrograde here in Neptune, you may be experiencing problems of establishing boundaries. I actually talked to a few people this week who seem to be having that boundary issue. The inability to express yourself, but you have a desire to do so. So you are tapping in and exploring new ways to express that. Identity crisis seems to be something big with Neptune retrograde, and feeling like you're at the mercy of someone else's fate. A lot of times it can feel blurry or unclear. And there are specific things I have people do when I take them to Neptune and do these sessions with them. It's really incredible. So when you are in alignment with Neptune, this is a very, very magical planet. You are connected and you know your soul purpose. You're able to trust the grand plan. You're able to see through the illusions and see the reality of the truth. You have clarity. You are tapped into your highest consciousness, and you are in tune with your spiritual gifts. So some of the other planets that I like to visit, sorry guys, I like all the planets, really I do, but I have my favorites. So we have Venus. Venus is the planet of unconditional love. No surprise there, right? Just so you know, roses are gifts from Venus. And I know a lot of you have heard of Reiki. Reiki actually comes from Venus, which makes sense. It is such a pure and beautiful healing vessel of energy. It totally makes sense that this is from the planet of Venus. We have Chiron. I love visiting Chiron. Chiron is very green to me, very beautiful emerald green. This is the planet of cosmic healing and holistic health. The word chiropractor comes from Chiron. So you can see the root there, chiropractor, Chiron. And, you know, it makes sense because it's healing and holistic health. Now, the last time it was in very close alignment with Earth was during the Greece days, you know, when they were into daily massage, daily baths. This is kind of how this all started and evolved. The centaur is a symbol for Chiron. And this is interesting. You have the half man, half horse. The man is able to see his density, those pieces of separation, and work on them. So the horse represents the density, whereas the man is looking at the density. He can see that. He knows how to move forward and seek help or whatever he needs in order to heal the pieces. Yes, interesting facts, isn't it? All right. I have a list of notes. I wanted to make sure I shared all my favorite stuff. That's just who I am. That's what I like to do. Jupiter. Jupiter is amazing. Dragon energy, very present here in Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of abundance for all living beings. The dragons, check this out. This is my favorite dragon story. So the dragons once upon a time came to Earth and began their adventure in the middle, or the East, such as China, and they also went to Europe. So what they did is they came with knowledge, and they would go to the women, the matriarchs of the family, and they would teach the women creative play, how to balance the masculine and feminine energies, so that the women could teach their sons how to joust, how to do martial arts, so that this was in perfect harmony. Now, we all know that when you are in perfect alignment, this is when you manifest. So again, the dragons are assisting in manifestation, clearing old energy. The dragon's breath energy, very clearing, very, very healing, very fast, profound work with the dragons. They are amazing. And I love, love, love working with the dragons. They are, wow, very powerful. Yeah, so that's a little bit about Jupiter. And if you look, oh, my favorite thing is I love looking at the clouds. You can see dragons in the mountains, in the clouds, in aerial pictures of the land. That is totally a rabbit hole I want to send you guys down. If you have extra time in your lives and would like something to do, go search things like that for dragons. Beautiful, amazing energy. Now, I mentioned Pluto. Pluto is the planet of cosmic detachment. So, and it goes together with Uranus. So you're speeding up really fast. And then Pluto acts kind of like a hoop that you jump through. And when I work with Pluto, when I am clearing and transforming, it's almost like I see this amethyst cave that I'm traveling through, and it's like it helps pull the old dead skin off. That might sound a little gory. It's not gory. It's just kind of like exfoliating. Might be a good term for that. It assists you in releasing judgments and attachments, which makes sense. It is the planet of transformation. And again, when you are in perfect alignment with Pluto, you just feel good. You are just in tune with the world. You know your place. There's no judgments. There's no fears. You don't feel out of balance. You feel equal. You feel connected to the oneness, because that is the next step. You're detached from all the puzzles. So a planetary alignment session, now that we've talked about some of my planets that I really love visiting, is kind of like an Akashic Records session or a soul retrieval, past life regression type of a mix. What happens is I assist you in activating your light vehicle. And then I have special beings that we call in, and we are able to energetically travel the cosmos. I take you to these planets. We open up some doors, we take a peek inside, we see what's going on. People can actually hold karma and density with these other planets. So what I do is I assist you in releasing the heaviness, the density, the karma, and see what we need to see, if there is anything to see. Sometimes you can't see those pieces, and that's okay. It just depends on what happened there. But we receive information, and then we are able to do the work that we need to do in order to get you aligned. And it feels phenomenal. It is like this huge weight lifted off of your shoulders. You come back into alignment with your life. And reports I have heard is that it just feels like life is so much easier. I have quite a few clients, when Mercury comes back into retrograde, they hit me up just to make sure they have this, usually we call it a tune-up. you know, just to kind of make sure that things are going to go smoothly for them, that anything that needs to be released is released, and that they are in alignment. It's kind of like getting a chiropractic adjustment, really, but it's planetary energy. Really, really beautiful and incredible work. So do you guys have any questions for me? Oh, yes. Yeah, the pimple analogy, having truths come forward. Yeah, we just dealt with Saturn, and I wasn't paying attention at that point, but it was like everything was just kind of coming to a head, and the truths were needing to come out, and it was like, oh my goodness sakes, you know. Yeah, these planets can really really affect you in interesting ways. So I'm going to go through, see if there's any questions really quick. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions in the future on these planetary alignment sessions, I invite you to reach out. And what makes you want to burn oh. You are so funny, Danae. I didn't see the eggplant on my screen. I don't know what else you got going on. Femininity, I would say maybe a combination, you know. Is it Venus just coming back into alignment with yourself? Oh yeah, Saturn was rough for us. It was very I found myself at my wit's end with Saturn. I definitely had to do a couple of trips to feel back to normal. Too funny. All right, guys, if you end up having any questions about what a planetary alignment session is, or how I can help you realign, or even if you just rage, Jupiter, Danae, Jupiter, balancing the masculine and feminine energy. Oh my gosh, that's Mercury. You hear that stumbling over my words? That's Mercury. Too funny. So, Danae, you and I talked about some dragons yesterday, I think it was. If you haven't done that already, do that. Connect with the dragons, see what message they have for you. If there's anything that they need you to do, or if you need help, connect with me, and I'll take you there and we can do the work. So, yes. All right, guys. Until next week, so much love, light, and magic to you all. I love questions. So again, if any questions pop up, reach out to me and feel free to ask. Have a magical weekend.